So welcome to my fourth video on the Pentax K-S2. In this video we're going to be looking at movie and how the K-S2 performs with its video capabilities. This audio right now is being recorded without the benefit of an external microphone being used, only using the camera's on-camera microphones and from a distance of about 8 feet. Planes. They never check with me to see if I'm recording before they fly over. This always happens when I film outside. So this section of video is being recorded with the benefit of a $12 lapel mic. So these two sections of video should give you a pretty good idea of the quality difference between the on-camera microphone and even a very basic, very entry-level, but powered microphone. This is one of the little ones that runs on a button cell to give it a little bit of boost to cut out some of the background noise. And of course right now there's no airplane flying over, which this would be able to cut out. All right, let's go. That was really dumb. So you've seen a bunch of sample videos taken with this actual camera that we're looking at for these videos. And the next thing that we need to do is take a look at how to record those videos. Video recording with the K-S2 is extremely easy and user-friendly. I found it to be one of the easiest cameras I've ever used for video recording. Especially out in the field, it was extremely quick to use and very responsive and did exactly what I want. In fact, it outperformed my expectations and seemed to be thinking ahead of me a step at some times. So if you're not experienced with video, or if you've taken a lot of pictures but you're not sure you really want to use your camera for video, this is a really good first video camera because it's very user-friendly, it has a good interface, and it does nice work. So let's take a little bit to looking at how to do it. Then let's start with basic recording. So I'm going to flip out the screen here so you can follow along. So turning it on, this just goes straight into the record menu, the still menu. And you can see here that the light around the shutter button is green. So let's go into video, and now you can see that the light has turned red. So if the light's red, you're in video mode. And there we're looking off camera at the studio lights. Really exciting stuff, I know. So here's the basic video interface. You start recording by pushing the record button, and what will happen is you can see here the video is counting up how many seconds on the LCD display are being recorded. You can see that that icon just confirms that there's an SD card. You can see that that icon just confirms that there's an SD card. This is your aperture. Now, even though I'm in aperture priority, which you can see up here on that icon with a movie that says AV, says I'm in aperture priority mode, I cannot change the aperture once I've started recording. That's different from the K3. On the K3, I can change the aperture once I've started recording. In fact, I'll show you right now with the K3. And I'm going to go all the way from f5.6 to 1.8 on the 31mm lens. Now you can see the K3 is also in AV mode. And what's happening is that what I put to be in prime focus, which was the shutter button, I manually focused that, has remained in focus. The exposure value has remained the same. All that happens when I change the shutter is that the aperture rather is that the depth of field increases, and now the screen is also in focus, you can see. That's a major difference between the K3 and the K-S2, and to my mind the K3 beats the K-S2 in that regard, and I know I've said in a few places that the K-S2 is every bit the equal of the K3, and for still imagery that is 100% true. For video, it's just a little bit weaker. So to stop recording, then you just hit the shutter button again. These other icons along the top, this is auto microphone volume, remote control, and what we can do is we can go into drive mode, and the drive mode button is this one on the right side of the control panel. And in your drive mode, you can switch between remote control off, remote control on, interval movie remote control, and Starstream. AWB auto white balance. This is your finishing mode. If you have a JPEG finishing mode set, bright, natural, cross-processing, whatever it is, it will carry over into video. This is your metering mode, in this case matrix. You can change that to be the other metering modes as well. Your info button menus work in video. Shake reduction is off, and the battery is almost dead. And then you can see I've got the horizon indicators on for the KS2 as well, which is a really nice thing to use when setting up a video. Your video modes here are controlled by your command wheel. So you can see here, we saw earlier it said video with the video camera symbol, AV for aperture priority. Now by rotating the command wheel, you can see the different modes pop up. So some things to bear in mind: aperture priority, time and aperture priority, full manual, and program are your only available video modes. So P, AV, TAV, and M. TV, SV, every other mode in here defaults to program mode. You can see as we've scrolled through all of these, they all say program mode, except for manual, TAV, AV, and, well, actually program also says program mode, I suppose, doesn't it? In general, aperture value is the best and easiest mode to use for video. You just have to set your aperture, and then your camera will automatically do the rest, calculating things like exposure time, in terms of how long each frame is recorded for, and also it will record, it will figure out the sensitivity to use and things like that, so that you get an image which is optimally exposed for the aperture that you've set. Now, if you change modes in the middle of shooting, you can see that it just stopped working. So here we're going to go from program to aperture value, and it stops recording. There we go. So everyone, thank you very much for, I don't know if I'm in the frame. Well, thank you very much for watching my 4th of 5, I think, right now, videos on the Pentax K-S2. This video focusing, of course, on video. And I hope that the samples you've seen have given you a pretty good idea of the video performance, as well as the microphone, the on-camera microphone performance of this camera, and also an idea of what some of the performance can be like with an off-camera microphone. So that's it. I mean, video is really simple to use. You can do a couple of added extra fancy things with video as well on this camera. Here, for instance, on the side is a microphone port. And with the microphone port, you can insert an external microphone. And as you heard in the sample videos at the very beginning, the external microphone makes an incredible difference in terms of audio quality on the video. Now, I'll say that the #1 difference, I used both an unpowered stand microphone, this one in fact, that I use for all my videos, as well as a powered lapel microphone for these. And in both cases, the external microphone vastly outperformed the camera's microphone. They also did not record wind noise. This recorded all kinds of wind noise, to the point that in some of my sample videos where I was giving myself, like, here's what I'm doing with this sample video information, and I'm not going to use this audio in the actual video that I'm making, but this is just a reminder of what's going on for when I edit. Some of that audio was drowned out by wind, and the camera was only a few feet from my face. Now granted, I was at Lake Tahoe, it was very windy, but that's a huge shortcoming of the on-body microphone. So if you are interested in trying out video with your KS2, I think the best thing that you can do is invest in a $12 lapel mic, or my stand microphone was only $15. We're not talking about a huge investment here, and pick up something like that, which is exceedingly inexpensive and will have huge benefits for the audio quality of your videos. So that's it. That is my 4th video about video. If you have any questions, please leave those below. I'm more than happy to answer those. If you have suggestions or thoughts about videos, let me know. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please do, and then you'll find out when I have more videos about cameras and photography and techniques and things like that. If you have suggestions for future videos, let me know, and if I have the technical know-how and equipment, I'm more than happy to make those. And one last thing, thank you guys for watching, and take great videos and photos, but also videos.